Hello everyone and welcome back to Farm Center 22. We're back here on No Man's Land with Grober Games. So last month we got all our oats harvested and our straw baled and all the bales moved. As you can see, I brought the case up here. So late last night I decided we were going to start cutting our grass up here on the hill. I was originally planning to start doing some silage chopping today, but I'm pushing that off till next month. I want to get this grass knocked out and I want to start during our downtime, whenever we have a little bit of downtime, I want to start working on getting that next field put together. I'm just going to check on the cattle here. Okay. They still got enough food yet. I should check on these ones as well. And they got enough food yet. I want them to I want these ones to finish off their hay before we give them any more TMR. And these ones are bound to have calves next month, so our barn's gonna be really full here shortly. But I started last night mowing the grass field up here, kind of somewhat etching out the field, so to speak, I should say, of where I'm planning to put our next new field up here. It's going to be quite a good sized field. And as you can kind of tell here in the distance, we've got quite a bit mowed already. I also went and sold our old tedder, and I bought us a much bigger one, about twice the size that we had before. And as you can see, it looks a little goofy there because I couldn't really. It was in the dark when I was first started doing this. I couldn't really figure out for sure where our boundary ended and began for this plot of ground, but we got that kind of figured out right now. Get this going here. Takes a little bit. A little bit for this tractor to get up to speed with this mower. But anyway, so we're going to finish mowing this today. We're going to get this tethered. We're going to get this rake, and we're going to start baling. This might be a 2-part month episode because I want to get all the bales moved. And what I would ultimately like to do, to be honest with you, is I would like to get this all plowed under and ready to go. And I think we're going to end up buying ourselves the soil sampler. And another thing I've been thinking about, so I was originally planning to upgrade our gravity wagons to like the Brent or the J&Ms, like the 650 or 644 respectively. But I think instead, because I know what I read one of the YouTubers' comments and they said that I should start thinking about upgrading our trailer for a pickup, but I decided I think I got a better idea instead of doing that. So there's an old Mack truck mod that came out on Mod Hub, and I've had it installed for a while, and I kind of want to go that route, to be honest with you. I think we'll still keep the 2 Kilbros wagons, and we'll buy that Mack truck with its normal grain trailer, the not the straight truck version, the actual like 5th wheel hitch one, and I think we're gonna go that route because then that way we can buy a tanker to start hauling our milk in with that instead, because we already got quite a bit of milk, and the milk's reached a good price. But the issue is I got our 1 tanker, as you can see at the end of the field here, filled with water, and I don't have any place to go with that, unfortunately, until we can just drop it all off at the cattle here, which is my own fault. But there'll be another opportunity for us to sell all that milk. So what I was thinking is if we buy that semi, we'll have like 2 setups of wagons and such, so we won't have to really worry as much of dumping all the grain right away and such. If we're in the middle of something, we'll have a little bit of leeway. It'll be a faster way for us to transport the grain up to the interstate. And we can also buy different trailers, kind of like I'm planning. So basically, I think the first trailer I'd buy is the grain one. And then I would probably I would buy the tanker next, because we can still get by with our pickup our little flatbed trailer for our pickup. And then we could buy a low loader or a flat deck trailer to start moving bales and moving all the planks from our sawmill as well. Because, like I said, my ultimate goal for that sawmill right now is to get to the point where we can, what am I looking for? Where we can open up another business back there and start instead of hauling all the planks up to the road, we can start putting some planks towards making our own furniture and selling that, exporting that as well. But right now, today's goals are we're gonna get this all mowed and done. And once we get this all mowed and done, we're gonna get tethered and raked, and we're gonna start baling. And I think that might be all the time we'll have for this episode for that. But if we have some time, we'll start moving some of the bales home, and then we'll get out the chisel plow, and we'll start getting this field set up. And I think we're gonna go into town and we'll buy that soil sampler and start sampling both of these fields, because I would like to get these limed in between the months as well, instead of having to lime everything at the beginning of the year and such. But that's the plan right now, so we'll jump into the time lapse here. I don't think there's anything else I have to note. The only other thing is, I know I talked about the whole combine thing for next fall. I've also downloaded a mod for another like series of the 9500 on like the more later 9500s, so there's another option for combines for us as well. But I'm trying to think if I feel like there's something else I'm missing, but I can't think of it right now. But I'm thinking, so the Kubota DLC came out today of this recording, and part of me, even though I kind of want to keep this based around older equipment, part of me almost wants to get rid of one of the tractors and get one of the Kubotas. And granted, there's not a whole lot of Kubotas with higher horsepower than what we got for like the white and such. So I'm sitting here kind of thinking, I'm like, well, I want to kind of keep this about the older two-wheel drive series, but I kind of want to bring Kubota on the farm just because I kind of would like I'm sure there's some mods out there, I just haven't found them yet, because there's just so many different modders out there with their own mods, and they're not really public or on the major PC download sites. But I wouldn't mind having a little orange on the farm, especially when I think of orange. I think more of Agco orange anymore than Kubota, but Kubota would do for me. So I'm debating about whether or not to bring one of those in the series. If I did, part of me says I should just get rid of the 75-20. But then again, I think we're just going to stick with the equipment we got. So I'm still bouncing that around in my head, and who knows, maybe I'll when I get bored, I'll just start a series where I can just start with a bunch of Kubota stuff. So, but we'll finally jump into the time lapse here, and we'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, everyone, this is where we're going to be wrapping up today's episode. It's kind of a little bit of a shorter one, but since I know I'm going to be breaking this month up into 2 parts, I figure we should stop now. Just make sure there's enough content for the next month. But when we come back, we're going to finish loading up all these bales here. We got quite a few, it looks like, here. And then when we get that done, we're going to get the duals thrown back on the 86 and get that out here and start getting our field outline and such and get that all done. And I figure if we don't do the soil sampling and if we get this field all worked up and ready to go, and if we choose not to do the soil sampling like I originally planned, we'll probably end up actually start getting stuff set up for a corn silage harvest, because we're going to need quite a bit corn silage, I feel like. I think another like 200,000 liters is kind of what I'm shooting for again this year. So that way we can stay ahead of everything. I'm trying to decide when those calves all come in. I don't know if I'm going to move them up to the pasture or not. I think I might just leave them in the barn. So that way when the barn gets filled up, we don't have too many calves coming in. And when the barn gets maxed out, we'll sell off all our older cattle as well. I think that's what I'm going to go for our plan right now. Oh. Just a floating. Spooky. There we go. There we go. Okay. But yeah, I think that's going to be the plan right now. So when we come back, we're going to finish. I think we're going to have at least another load and a half of bales to move in, and then we're going to head out and get all the, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? We're going to head out and start chisel plowing the new field in, so that way we have that etched out as well. But if you guys enjoyed today's episode, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. If you're enjoying the content, please subscribe so you can stay up to date to the latest series. Above all else, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. And most of all, thanks for watching.